Hello everybody, this is Tom Capps from Flock-Free Bird Control, and I want to show you guys an exciting new product that we have. I think it's going to really change the way bird control is done across the USA and even in the European markets. So what we have here today is the Flock-Free Super Tack. It's a liquid glue that dries fairly clearly, and it gets tacky when it gets dry, and it stays tacky. So when a bird lands on it, they'll feel stickiness right away and they'll leave because they don't like their feet being sticky because they're part of the food chain. And if a bird's got to make a quick escape, they don't want to be hung up even a little bit. So for most birds, it's going to work great. So how we're going to do is I'm going to apply a coat to each one of these different surfaces so you can see what it looks like once it's dry. We're also going to put a little UV paint on, clear. And you always want to do that because you want to make it a visual so the birds will see it. A lot of the birds won't even go near it because it's a visual. But if they get close to it, we have a consequence, which is the tackiness. So the super tackiness is weather resistant, water resistant in general, hot, cold. We stuck it in the freezer 10 times in and out. Stuff holds up really well. So first I'm going to apply some UV paint to some of these areas here. Just doesn't have to be crazy, just a little bit. Galvanized steel here. There's some cardboard. Here's some. All right, we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and we will put the super tack on top of it. All right, we're back, and we let the UV paint clear set up a little bit, and now we're going to apply the super tack product to half of each one of these different surfaces. And there's multiple ways of applying the product. You can use a simple scrubber here, you can use a roller, you can use a regular brush. We have this little handy dandy applicator that we use. It has a little sponge down here. There's a little ball with a spring, and when you press down and squeeze, product comes out. And then when you want to store it, you just put it back in here, and the wet sponge keeps the tip from drying up. And it's just an easy way of applying product. And I'm gonna use this to apply it, and then I'm gonna spread it around using that little brush I have here. And you'll see it make a little thin bead. There we go. We're going to spread. Same thing here. You can put dots. Do the same thing on this side. There you go. Got to press a little harder. That's all. Here we did this side. Okay. Whoops. Put this back in our little adapter here. And push the stuff around a little bit. Just want to spread it out. The idea here is to cover the entire surface. I like to put 3 coats on. And you can experiment, but I have a little bit running. Here. What's great about this product, it will not soak into cardboard. It will not soak into cement. It has something in the substrate that keeps it from soaking into objects. So it stays up on top and then plasticizes. So we're going to let this set up and come back in a few minutes. It really only takes about, usually on a dry day, about 30-40 seconds to tack up. But because of the humidity here up in the Northeast, it's going to take a little bit longer. So we'll be back in a few minutes to see what it looks like with 1 coat, and then we're going to apply 2 more coats, and you'll see the finished product. All right, thank you. All right, so we've applied 1 coat of product to these different surfaces. While we were gone, I did paint a line over here on this laminate wood, just so you can see what that would look like. This is not quite set up, but you can see it gives a little sheen over here. You can see it dries fairly invisible. So we're going to put another coat on, and these videos are intended to introduce a product and to teach. And what we learned today was you probably don't want to use this on an angular surface like that. You probably want to brush that on next time. But we live and we learn. So we'll put some more on here. And then we're going to use a roller. I'm just going to roll it, spread it around a little bit. There we go. Roller's falling apart. Buy a better roller, I guess is the word there. For this one over here, we will continue to use this thing. And push that in a little bit better. There we go. So we'll take from here, we'll apply here. Same thing there. On here. So we're not going to, this bottom part here we're not going to do. And we'll see what the difference is between 2 coats and 1 coat up here and no coats. Not quite a little more here. All right. See you in about 5 minutes. Should be quicker than that, but we're going to let it set up real good. Hey, Tom Cap's back again. So we let it dry a little bit. We're going to do a 3rd coat real quick, and then we're going to let it set up. We suggest 3 coats for the longevity of the product. You can see it's got a lot of tack already, and already there's no transfer to my hands. So if a bird were to land on it, depending on the weight of the bird, the lighter bird would just have a little bit of tack, a heavier bird would have more tack. So that's what's great about it. So let's do the 3rd coat. We're going to use this applicator again, just to get us started. We'll use this as our tray, if you will. There we go. So this is not really art class, so it doesn't have to, you don't have to cover every little piece of an object, but pretty simple to do. The only time you really notice anything is if you leave a line like this. If you smooth it out, it'll dry more clear. If you leave a white spot like that, that means there's more than one layer there. All right, so a couple minutes, we'll come back and see what the final product looks like. And you can see it's really easy to do. So pretty much anybody could do bird control now with this product. But see you in a couple minutes. All right, so Tom Cap's back again. We have 3 coats on each one of these surfaces. As you can see, it dries fairly clear. You can't say 100% clear, but very clear. On a cardboard box, this is what you get. And then you get a nice tack on here. Nice tack. And all these surfaces. You can see it's sticky. But again, when a bird sits on it, the bird is very light. So depending on the weight of the bird, they're gonna feel it and take off right away. And you can see here, even with the different colors, it's not that noticeable. And here on a laminate surface, you will see a shine to it. But again, not horrible. And at the end here, there's nothing here. So you can compare here to 2 coats to 3 coats. So what I'm gonna do next is, we suggest using, of course, the UV paint with the Super Tack, and then we spray the surrounding area with our tank mix. So I'm gonna spray the tank mix on all the surfaces. Let me open this sucker up. All the surfaces that we treated. This is going to sort of like simulate a rain, okay? Rainstorm. So this is how we would do it. We would actually put the Super Tack on. If we were doing the top of a sign, we'd spray the back of the sign. This just adds another element of instantaneous repellency. All right, so we'll come back, we'll let this dry. We'll come back and see if it's tacky. I'm actually going to take this box here and I'm going to stick it in the freezer for the next 10 minutes, or 5 minutes we'll say. And I'll bring it back out. It'll be cold, and we'll see how that works too. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, we're 10 minutes, we're back, and we sprayed everything. It took a while for it to dry because of the humidity here in the weather, but you can see everything is fairly dry. This just came out of the freezer, so I'm letting that thaw. By the time we're done talking, we'll be able to test the tackiness of it. This was in the freezer for 10 minutes, so it got frozen. So let's see how tacky everything is. That's pretty tacky stuff. Everything is tacky. This is after soaking it with the tank mix. This is actually tank mix coming up. So let's test it with a heat gun. We'll put it on a metal surface and see what happens while we're talking. So again, this product is really simple to put on. You can put on with a brush, a roller. You can dab it on with a sponge. 3 coats. If it's warm weather, they literally dry within 30 seconds to a minute. Up here in the Northeast, it's 60 degrees out and kind of humid. Once you put the 3 coats on, it will stay tacky forever. The only thing that'll get it is a little bit of dust. So if it's a real dusty environment, 6 months to a year, you may have to reapply. Just go right over the top. Won't hurt anything. And you probably only want to use this on top of surfaces and things. You can do it on angles. Think of television monitors, light fixtures, concrete. You know, you could do any kind of a grid system. You know, think of a warehouse, all the pillars, the top of the pillars, both food stations and stadiums. Virtually anywhere you want to keep birds off, if you can do it. So this is going to be, it's still hot. It's a little hot, but it's still sticky, so it works. So I want to give you a good idea about how this all works. So here, again, when it first came out of the freezer, it was not sticky. So it's weather resistant, pretty weather resistant, cold resistant, heat resistant, wet resistant. It's a great product. This is going to change the way people are doing bird control. Anybody could do it. You call up, gives you some pointers. It's flock free, super tack. You got to get some. Let's make your life easier. Give us a call. Have a good day.